Hello, my stitchy witchy friends. I'm Cher Johnston. Welcome to my happy place. If you're new here, this is where I sit and stitch and film. Please hit the hype button. That helps a lot. Link in the description to my Facebook and my Ko-fi site. And please like, share, and subscribe. You know, all those things help the algorithm. I did this in a different video. And this is for a friend who's a new grandma. That's her little granddaughter. But that's not really what this is about. I can put a link to this video. Actually, it's 2 or 3 videos. You know what? I'll put a link to the whole playlist. You can watch all of them on the playlist. But I wanted a bag for it to go into. So I started making this slow stitch sort of patchwork thing, and then I realized that I got a little carried away. I'll make that into something else. All I really want is a little envelope kind of pocket to put this in. So I have this fabric here, these teacups, and I took, this is, I call this the Sherry Iris method of slow stitch. She folds down the end about a 1/4 of an inch on each side, and then hold those together. You can pin if you want, but I'm not gonna. I have my DMC floss 597, and have I'm using a milliner's needle, but you know what? It's not necessary. I may have to switch. I'm not going to do this entire seam on camera, but I do want, well, I think I put it. It's funny. I'm now, you know, Google, YouTube is Google. They listen to me. So I made this little thing, and now I'm seeing them for sale on my feed. Oh, I think that's funny. So I'm going to go in, you know, 2 millimeters. You don't need to use one of these. This is because sometimes I just like my precise little stitches. They're going to show. If you don't want them to show, you don't go in quite as far. This is like very similar to English paper piecing. If you do English paper piecing, you know that you only need like 2 or 3 threads, and you have paper inside that, for me, that sort of prevents it from going too far. Anyway, so I can stop for a second and turn it around and look. Look, see? Do you see? So I'm going to go all the way up this seam, and then, like on these, I'm going to put a running stitch. Let me see one where you can really see it. Not a lot that you can. Here we go. I'm going to put a running stitch along the side of the seam. That just holds them down. Adds a little something to it. We'll make this into something. I'll show you that. So I'm going to do this seam and then come back. I think I forgot to mention dimensions. This is 3 inches. This is about 3.5 inches. This is about a 1/2 inch wide. And this is 10 inches here. This way was 11 inches. And then I'm going to fold it up about 3.5, 3.25 inches. So this, I might put a button in there, I don't know. But next I'm going to do a Berwick stitch. This is similar to a buttonhole stitch. I forgot my little thing. Oh, there's one. There we go. And I didn't tell you about this. I didn't talk about this. This is a thing that I made. Here it is. This stuff is called Pellon, and you get it at, I was going to say Joann's, but get it at a fabric store. I think I have a link to Amazon that shows it. I don't have affiliate links, but I can give you a link so you can see what it is. And I cut like a 1/2 circle, and then these are a 1/2 centimeter, and those are 1/4 inch. I'm liking the 1/2 centimeter ones. I have to sit down. And get my glasses. Okay, I'm going to go left to right. I'm going to go down. I'm going to start on the inside about hold on, I want to just trim the end off that. That's maybe almost a 1/2 centimeter. So I'm going to lay this down about 1/2 centimeter. Wait, let's do this first. You're going to start this with a burr, 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 burr. Let's go down a little bit further. I'm going to start this with a detached chain stitch. That just gets that up there. So then I want to place this around where my needle's going to go in. Put my needle in there and hit my finger. And then I'm going to wrap that. You can do a normal buttonhole stitch. This is just what I'm doing. This is called a Berwick or a looped buttonhole. Okay. So I'm going to do this off. I discovered that I can't go, I mean I can. If I go too close to this, see what happens? I go through this and I'm actually sewing it to the thing. So I want to go just a hair above it. Okay, and that's what my Berwick stitch looks like. Not very different from a buttonhole. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do both the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to come back. Oh, then I'm going to do, I folded this up about 3 1/2, 3 1/4, 3 3 1/4 inches. I think I'm going to go the opposite way, and so that this is on the inside. And I think I'm going to do that same stitch that I did when I did this here, just like an overcast stitch, and stitch up the sides. And then I'll come back and I'll show you the next thing I'm going to do. Okay, here's the little pouch, the little bag pouch thing. I'm going to do one last little thing. Oh, one last little thing before we do the lace. I want to do a box bottom. If you want to do a box bottom pouch, you're going to take the corners on the inside, and I'm just going to do a seam right there. Just a little tiny seam. Oh, it's such a nice day today. I was watching this guy on YouTube, and he said that the whole country has had unseasonably warm weather this I don't know, today, yesterday, this weekend, something, I don't know, whatever. It's been so pleasant, so pleasant. And it was really cold, like last week. It's interesting times we're living in. And I'm not going to talk about politics, because that's just crazy, right? All right, now I'm going to just end this off and do the other one off camera. But I do want to, I want to do this crochet. I'm very excited about this crochet. Okay. All right, so when you turn it back around, there's a little tiny box bottom. And I'll do the other one off camera. And I wish I hadn't chosen a fabric that was directional like that. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. Now, if you're not interested in crochet, I won't be offended if you leave right now. It will be fine. I'm going to talk crochet. I love to crochet. I crochet a lot. It's not what my channel's about, but I have to add it to this and I have to show you. So I made crochet lace many years ago. This is what I'm going to use. This is, I always keep these, Aunt Lydia's Crochet Thread Fashion 3. That's the size. I think it's like a number 3 pearl cotton. If you look at it, compared to this is a number 3 pearl cotton. Where's the end? Yepers, look at that. Yeah. So there's this. I have this, and this is This is what that looks like here. It's not lacy and drapey and, you know, all that, but it's fine. This is something else that I'm working on. And this is Aunt Lydia's Classic 10. This is probably like this one here is a 12, which is a little bit smaller. So yeah, it's a lot bigger than a 12. But it makes this is a little more, I could have brought one that's more done. It's still not very drapey. It's not, you know, it's not, but it's lace. It's going to be lace. It's going to look like lace. This one I used when I was much younger and my eyes were better. And it's lacy, drapey. It's like using thread though. This is a size 30 and it's extra fine. It's more like a thick machine thread, thicker than a machine thread, but it's still very thin. I have a little blanket that I made using machine thread. That's crazy. Can't see well enough anymore. I mean, I can, but it's frustrating. So I'm going to use this because I have discovered that it's not so bad. And I'm going to leave a little length long enough I can thread it on a needle and put it in there and hide the end. This is not a tutorial. If you are new to crochet, this is not for you. If you crochet and you know the terms and all that, I'm gonna I'll put on the screen what I'm doing. So I made a slip knot. Oh, I want to talk first about my crochet hook. I got this from my mother. I have no idea where it's made, where it comes from, but I do know that a normal crochet hook it's sort of the same size at the end as it is. It's like a milliner's needle, right? It's same size all the way down. This one is not. I don't know if you can see the teeny tiny hook. It's tiny, but I can push it up, and the further I push it up, sorry, further I push it up, the bigger that loop becomes. So I can pull it up to here and tighten it, and then go back down. And like if I was going to do a chain, I would pull through and then go up to there and pull through and go up to there. Do you see? So it makes it like you're using a larger crochet hook, but the teeny tiny hook can get through there. So I'm going to, if you wanted to do this if you wanted to just do this and then sew it on later, that would probably work. I would say chain, make a chain that is 4, any count of 4 plus 2, 1 extra and then 1 for turning. Wait, I want to go this way. I just messed that up. Haven't even started and I messed up already. All right. So I'm going in through the top thingy dealy. And I did test this first to see if I should do, this is hard to do with my elbows resting, if I should do 2 in every stitch or just 1. And I'm going to do 1 in every stitch. And then later I'll just have to deal with the stitch count somehow. So I'm just doing in each of these stitches 1 single crochet. And you'll notice, because of the hook that I have, I'm pushing way down to make those bigger, those loops bigger, and then pulling through my teeny tiny hook. And then I can get through tiny spaces, pull through, make the loop bigger. Does that make sense? And hopefully I can get all the way to the end. I'll go to the end and come back. Okay, so I have 28 stitches, which is a multiple of 4. So I'm going to single crochet 1 more there. Now, if you want to keep your stitch count consistent with mine, you would chain 29 plus 1, 30, chain 30, turn, single crochet in the second chain from the beginning, from the hook, and 1 single crochet in each one across. That makes sense? So then you'd have what I have here. So I'm going to chain, no, I chained 1. I'm going to single crochet in the first stitch. I'm going to chain 3. 1, a good enough hold on this. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to skip 1 single crochet and single crochet in the next one. And then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 1 single crochet in the next single crochet. Really simple pattern here. 1, 2, 3. Skip 1 single crochet in the next one. Okay. You get the idea. I'm going to go to the end and I'll meet you at the other end. So I chained 1. I'm going to slip stitch into this first chain 3 loop. And then I'm going to single crochet. Nope. Then I'm going to chain 1. And then I'm going to single crochet in that chain 3 loop. And then I'm going to chain 3, 2, 3, and then I'm going to single crochet in the next loop. And then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and so on. I'm going to single crochet in the next chain 3 loop and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll meet you at the end. I'm making this up as I go. So I have 13 chain 3 spaces. I did a chain 1 and now I'm going to single crochet in the first chain 3 space. Then I'm going to do 5 double crochet, and that's a shell in the next space. Then I'm going to single crochet in this space and repeat from there. Single crochet, then 5 double crochets, single crochet, 5 double crochets. I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I ended with a single crochet in that last 2 chain space, and I'm going to just pull through. No, I'm not going to pull through. I'm going to pull this out, trim this with enough room to sew it in. I was just ready to just keep on going and adding more rows, but I think it looks kind of cool. Okay, so I'm gonna sew those in, and then take pictures, and that's my video. Well, there it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll put a link in the description to this video where I made this little thing. But that's my video for today. Thanks for watching.